Hi everyone, welcome to your audit in CIS environment. In this video, we are going to tackle your expenditure cycle. Your expenditure cycle is a two-part, part 1 and part 2. So for this video, we are going to focus on your part 1, purchases and cash disbursement. Okay? The objective of your expenditure cycle is to convert the organization's cash into physical materials and the human resources it needs to conduct business. And uh, you have two main processes. Okay. Number one, you have your physical phase involving acquisition of your resources, and your physical phase, a financial phase, involving the disbursement of your cash. Now, in this chapter or in this video, we will be examining two principal features of the two major subsystem of your expenditure cycle. Okay? Number one, you have your purchasing process subsystem and your cash disbursement subsystem. So that is our focus for our video today. Okay, what are our objectives at the end of this video, at least, or after studying and after reading your material as well? You should know your fundamental task involved or performed during the purchases and cash disbursement processes. The next one is that you should be able to know the functional areas involved in the purchasing and cash disbursement and the flow of this transaction through the organization. Of course, you do not have to memorize them, but at least you should familiarize yourself. Okay, because in an organization, it is not always the same that this process is also involved in another organization, although the flow of the process is similar. Only that there are some steps that are not exactly the same with the other organizations. Anyway, the next objective is that you should know the documents, the journals, and the accounts that provide audit trail and promote maintenance of your record and support decision making for the financial reporting. The next one, you should know the risk associated with the purchase and the cash disbursement activity, and you should know the control on how to reduce this risk. In your audit in CIS environment, this is your main objective. Okay, you should know the threats, the risk, and as well as the control that you should implement to reduce the risk or the threats. And lastly, you should know or you should be able to understand the operational features and the control implications of technology used in purchases and cash disbursement system. Okay, let us now start. So this is a simple illustration of your procurement cycle subsystem. Okay, or your physical subsystem. Okay, your purchasing process subsystem. Now, what are the goals of your expenditure cycle? Okay, your expenditure cycle has a goal of providing needed resources to the organization. And of course, it can be broken down into several objectives, which also already contains the steps that are necessary to accomplish the expenditure cycle. Okay, number one, you have there the purchase from reliable vendors. In your expenditure cycle, a part of this is for you to know if your vendor is reliable. And of course, it is your responsibility as well to create a good vendor, customer, okay, or seller customer relationship. Next one, purchasing high quality item. As you establish your supplier and customer relationship, you also establish quality of the material that you purchase as much as possible. Hindi ka papalit-palit, 'di ba, ng supplier mo kasi nga gusto mong at the same time i-secure yung quality ng material and the cost of your material. You wanted to contain your cost. The next one is to obtain the best possible price. Number one, in your expenditure cycle, papasok kasi dyan si value chain mo, di ba? You have to know the internal cost, total internal cost of the company. So, it will help you also in obtaining the best possible price. Siyempre, at the same time, obtaining the gross margin. Okay. Next one, Purchase only items that are properly authorized. In your expenditure cycle, dito papasok yung idea natin na hindi ka pwedeng mag-purchase unless it is authorized, unless you have undergone the proper process, like the procurement process, authorization process, di ba? Until your disbursement of cash for the payment of your purchase. Ayan. You have to follow specific rules and specific controls for purchasing and disbursing. Next, another goal of your expenditure cycle is to have your resources available when they are needed. Okay? The availability. Next is to receive only those items ordered. So, makikita mo to mamaya sa receiving mo. Ibig sabihin, when you check your items received, hindi ka dapat maka-receive ng hindi mo naman in-order. Okay? And at the same time, you should not receive defective goods, you should not receive excess, and you should not receive less. Next, ensure items are not lost, stolen, or broken. And of course, pay the items in a timely manner. So you have here a data flow diagram of your purchases system. Of course, hindi mo naman to i-memorize. Hindi ko rin naman to ipapadrawing sa'yo. Okay? For you, siguro, the help of this is, let us say you have a subject na kailangan mo to. Let's say you have your FISIB, di ba? May FISIB ka. Dapat alam mo tong mga process na to. Kasi what I know is, before you go to your audit in CIS, na-introduce naman na sa'yo to for previous subject or from your previous subject. Okay? Ayan. So let's start with your manual purchases system. Your manual purchases system begins with the inventory control when inventory level drops to reorder level. Okay? So kapag nakita na nila sa records nila na nagda-drop na yung level natin, they manually begin your inventory control, doon na mag-start yung requisitions natin. Okay? So upon drop of your inventory levels, a purchase requisition is prepared and copies to send, okay, purchasing and accounts payable. Again, anong isi-send mo? Your purchase requisition. Okay? Again, your inventory will be monitored. Okay? The firm will deplete their inventory by transferring raw material into the production process, and then of course to be sold later on. Now when your inventory monitor and records will now drop, okay, at a predetermined reorder point, a requisition is prepared and sent to order function to initiate the purchase process. So after ng purchase requisition mo, hindi pa yun yung formal na um, written letter na magpo-purchase ka. Okay, gagawa pa ngayon. Next step, you have your purchase order. So the preparation of your purchase order, okay? The prepare purchase order function receives the purchase requisition. Iba yung gumagawa ng purchase requisition kasi galing kay warehouse yon. Okay? Iba yung gagawa ng purchase order. It is prepared for each vendor. Okay? And a copy of your PO or your purchase order is sent to vendor. In addition, a copy of PO is sent to the setup accounts payable function for filing temporary in the AP pending file. So para makita mo kanino ka may pending na magiging payable soon. And at the same time, i-record mo na din kanino ka magkakaroon na payable dun sa mga vendor na nakalista sa'yo. Okay? Again, you send the copy to vendor and then you send the copy to inventory control as well as to receiving. Bakit si receiving? Si receiving yun kasi yung magiging guide niya, di ba? Okay. However, kay receiving, naka-blanko yan kung ilan ang marireceive. Bakit? As a control. Bibilangin niya muna. Okay? Bibilangin niya muna. Later on, kung ilan yung nabilang niya, ima-match later sa nasa inventory control at nasa purchase order kung tama yung na-receive natin. Okay? Kaya si receiving, blind copy yung sa kanya. Okay? Blind copy kay receiving. So that it will force the receiving officer to count the goods received. And Your receiving report is prepared and copies are sent to raw material, storeroom, the purchasing, the inventory control, and of course, para sa payable natin, AP. Okay? That is part of your manual purchases system. So sa manual purchases system mo, your accounts payable will receive copies of your purchase requisition, purchase order, receiving report, and supplier's invoice. So, si supplier's invoice, syempre doon na nakalagay magkano ba yung babayaran mo sa kanya. How much will be your accounts payable to be settled in the future. Okay, subject naman yan ngayon yung sa cash disbursement mo. And then, your AP function will reconcile this document and will post to the journal and record the liability to the accounts payable subsidiary ledger. Again, wag mong kakalimutan yung receiving goods mo. Okay? Sa receive goods function, yung receiving form mo, okay? Magka-count dapat si employee dyan, si receiving employee. And then later on, ima-match dun sa purchase order. Okay? Para makita kung tama yung na-receive natin. Alright, so periodically, your AP summarizes the entries of the purchases in the journal as a journal voucher and sent to general ledger. Of course, for posting naman yan ngayon, di ba? For posting. So inventory control or purchases, debit yon, and then credit, of course, accounts payable, increasing your liability. And also, your AP function will prepare a cash disbursement voucher and will post that to the voucher register. Now, at the same time, upon receiving, kapag okay na, si inventory records mo, mag-a-update din siya ng sa kanya. Your organization that use your standard cost system will carry inventories at a predetermined standard value regardless of the price actually paid, and of course, updating actual cost inventory ledger will require financial information. Okay? Now, regarding naman dito, after your AP posting, pagpunta mo sa GL department, you will post accounts payable journal voucher to the general ledger. Di ba yun yung sa posting mo, maalala mo pa, you just transfer. In total, ano yung na-record mo sa journal, okay? Transfer mo lang kay GL. Next, you will reconcile inventory amount with the account summary received from the inventory control. You will reconcile what? Your inventory amount. Okay? With the inventory control para makita mo match ba yung nasa records tsaka yung nasa warehouse. Okay? Yung actual na hawak-hawak mo. Now, for the cash disbursement system, periodically, your accounts payable function searches the open vouchers payable file for the items with payments due. And then, your AP will send voucher and support document to the cash disbursement. Okay? Siyempre si AP function, hindi rin naman siya yung magbibigay or mag-i-issue ng cash disbursement. Bawal yon. Okay? Bawal yon. Again, segregation of duties. Ang gagawin lang ni AP, mag-update ng account natin, pero for payment, ibibigay niyan kay cash disbursement together with the supporting document para i-signify kung magkano yung dapat i-disburse for our AP payment. And then, your AP will update accounts payable subsidiary ledger. Now, later on, upon cash disbursement, okay, ano yung mga pinaprepare? You will prepare your check for the payment, of course. Kadalasan naka-check na yan, di ba? Unless, syempre, upon purchase of cash, edi cash sana. Okay? Next one, record information in the check register, or which is your cash disbursement journal. Next one, returns paid voucher to accounts payable and then mails check to the supplier. So yung cheque, yung pinambayad mo, mail mo na kay supplier, update mo na sa accounts payable na okay ka na, and then syempre, what will be your journal entry? You recognize your liability, decrease your asset because you are paying using your cash. Syempre, cash pa din yung check, tama? You still remember? Hindi naman yan marketable securities. Hindi naman yan cash equivalents. That is part of your cash. Okay. Now, on your manual disbursement system for the GL department, it will receive your journal voucher from the disbursement function and a summary of accounts payable subsidiary ledger. Okay, bakit subsidiary ledger? Kasi syempre per vendor. Okay, let's say we have 5 vendors na kinukuhaan natin ng supplies. So, each one, meron summary si accounts payable department and then ibibigay niya kay GL department. Okay? Now, the journal voucher is used to update your general ledger. Siyempre, yun yung gagamitin mo to update. You just get all the summarized information, di ba? And then for posting. And the accounts payable control is reconciled with the subsidiary summary. Now, for your computer-based accounting system or your CBAS, it can be viewed as a continuum with two extreme. Number one, your automation. You use technology to improve efficiency and effectiveness, and of course, your re-engineering. For the automation, ayan, nasabi ko na pala no, for the automation, sabi ko pa ulit. Anyway, ayan. Now, for the level of automation and re-engineering, nagkaroon tayo ng improvement for the computer generation of your PR. So instead na manually generated yan, di ba, from the warehouse, dahil naka-system ka, tina-update mo yung system, pag nag-drop na yon at the predetermined level, automatic magkakaroon ka na ng PR. Okay? And of course, pag may PR ka, na-forward na yan sa department, nagagawa ng PO, the purchases manually generates PO. Okay? So instead of PO na manually, magge-generate ka ng PO automatically. On that case, hindi mo na kailangan ng PR. So parang connected na rin siya, di ba? Kasi once na nag-drop, may PR ka na, automatic pag may PR, may PO. Okay? However, your purchase order will not be sent until manually viewed. Okay? Kailangan i-review pa yan nung nasa warehouse for verifiability. Tama ba? Kung ilan dapat yung ipa-purchase. Okay? Now, your computer-generated purchase order is automatically sent without a manual review. Okay? During your manual, okay? So, wag ka malilito comparing to ng manual. 'Di ba sa manual mo, you will generate PO manually sa manual system. Ngayon, magge-generate ka na computer-based. And then dati, PO is not sent until manually reviewed. Ngayon naman, automatically sent without manual review. Okay? Kasi nga, meron ka ng electronic data interchange. Okay? Dati, computer-to-computer communication without PO. So, kailangan i-verify nyo from one system to another, like yung system ni purchasing sa system ni warehouse. Ganyan. Okay. Ano yung mga expenditure cycle database natin? You have your master file, transaction and open document files, and other files. So, for the master file, you have the files of your supplier, accounts payable, and then your merchandise inventory master file. For your transaction file, syempre yung file mo with your purchases, with your supplier, open voucher file, and then your cash disbursement file. For the other files, you have your buyer files kasi related yan, although it's part of your revenue cycle. You have your buyer file, supplier reference, like your history file, and then your accounts payable detail file. For your computer-based purchases, a data processing department performs routine accounting tasks, and your purchasing department, your purchasing a computer program identifies inventory requirements. So katulad nung sabi ko kanina, hindi mo na kailangan manually na i-check, di ba? Hindi mo na kailangan manually i-check kung ilan na yung level mo because upon updating sa system mo, malalaman na ni system kung na-reach mo na yung predetermined level. Okay? Before you will be purchasing or mag-order. Ayan. Now, the following methods are used for authorizing and ordering inventory. So, ito yung kailangan mong tandaan. Okay? When the system prepares your PO, it will send them to your purchases for review, signing, and distributing. Okay? The system distributes PO directly to the vendor internal user and bypassing purchases. And the system will use electronic data interchange and will place the order without POs. Yan yung ginagawa ng computer-based purchases mo ngayon. What are the other tasks that are automatically done by your computer? Ito na ngayon. It will update the inventory subsidiary file from the receiving report after having a receiving report. Sorry. Next one, you will calculate batch total for general ledger update. And then you will close corresponding records in the open purchase order file to the closed purchase order file and will validate the voucher records against valid vendor file. How about this one? Your task performed automatically by the computer. It will scan your vouchers currently due. It will print your check. It will record these checks to the register. Hindi mo na kailangan mag-record manually. And then, batch total are prepared by the for the general ledger update procedure. So, automatic na yon. So, from the beginning, di ba makita mo nung manual, may mga trigger points ka palagi. Although dito may trigger points ka rin, pero tuloy-tuloy na yung process niya. Okay? Now, advantages of real-time data input and processing over batch processing, it shortens time lag in record keeping and records more currently. Kasi mas makikita mo yung updated record mo. Next one, it will eliminate much of the routine manual procedure. Okay? Yung mga manual procedure mo, number one, yung recurring, di ba? Additional pa yun sa time ni employee sa ginagawa niyang task. Kasi kung recurring naman, it's ideal na maganda talaga siyang naka real-time or at the same time computerized. Next one, eliminate much of the storage and shuffling of paper documents. So instead of paper, pwedeng meron ka na lang file on your system. So anytime you can retrieve it, hindi mo na kailangang punuin yung opisina mo ng paper. Tapos later on, hindi mo pa na-sort yung paper mo. Let us say, oops, tingnan natin yung purchases natin for June. Yun pala, na-shuffle mo na siya or naisali mo na siya sa purchases mo ng May. And then of course, reduces data entry correction procedure. Okay? As long as correct yung nandun sa umpisa, kasi nga 'di ba, as long as si warehouse yung trigger point natin for the expenditure o kayang records niya at wala namang mali sa mga ini-enter niya, 'di ba? Once na naka-update at na-reach natin yung predetermined level bago tayo mag-purchase, kapag okay yon at wala namang error, then continuous na yung process niya kay system. Ngayon yung system mo, syempre, i-update mo na lang, let us say, the prices from your vendor, di ba? Mga quotations mo para hindi rin naman overcosted or undercosted yung material. Next, so you have the pre-engineered purchases, although hindi mo naman to i-memorize. We now go to your internal control, okay? But of course, before we go to your internal control, ano ba yung in-audit mo for your expenditure cycle, okay? In your expenditure cycle, transactions and account balances, transaction and account balances involved in the expenditure cycle are those related to providing goods and services for operational activities, including, of course, the payment of payable. But of course, on our internal control, we will now focus on what do we audit, di ba? And what should be our internal control. Let us say, sa warehouse, until your purchase order, ano yung mga dapat na control. Upon payment, upon checking magkano yung dapat ibayad, sino magre-record ng disbursement, sino dapat yung gagawa nun. Okay? All right. So for your internal control and of course your audit objective, unahin natin itong internal control mo. Okay? For your internal control, number one, for the transaction authorization, let us use our summary na lang for reference, no? For transaction authorization, punta tayo dito kay inventory control. Okay? And then your cash disbursement system. You have your inventory control and your accounts payable authorizes the payment. For the segregation of duty, let's say sa inventory control. Inventory control separate from purchasing and inventory custody. Okay? And your AP subsidiary separate from the general ledger. Meaning, si inventory control yung nag-update ng records mo ng level of inventory, iba siya sa function ni purchasing. Yung gagawa ng PO, yung mag-authorize ng PO. Okay? Ngayon, yung nasa recording, hindi rin siya dapat nasa custody. Dapat magkaiba yan. Okay? Custody of your asset and the recording of your asset. Doon naman sa cash disbursement mo, sa accounts payable, iba dapat yung nagme-maintain ng ledger, ng journal, iba din yung nagme-maintain ng para sa cash disbursement. Bakit? Kasi magkakaroon ng fraudulent actions dito in terms of your records tsaka sa pag-maintain ng journal. Okay? Let us say ang disbursement mo is only 10,000 dapat. Ang ni-record mo 15,000. Okay? So, nasan yung 5,000, di ba? Ayan. All right. Your supervision, katulad ng control mo sa mga nakaraang cycles natin, like your receiving revenue cycle, I should say. What's the purpose of your supervision? Yung supervision mo is a part of your compensating control and at the same time, supplemental control mo yan. Yung si supervision. Okay? So ano bang ginagawa ni supervision mo? Again, for your supervision, the receiving department is the area that most benefits from supervision. So nakita mo dyan sa purchasing process mo, receiving department. Kasi si receiving department, di ba, required yung employee to count ilan yung na-receive natin, tama ba yung quantity, tama ba yung quality, di ba? And then later on, i-match yun sa PO. Upon counting, so para ka lang nag-audit at nag-inventory count, merong nagsusupervise sa'yo. Okay? Now, close supervision will reduce the chances of two exposure. Ano ba yung two exposure na yon? Number one, yung exposure mo sa alin? Failure to inspect, and then exposure sa theft of asset. Okay? Ayan. Paanong theft of asset kasi? 'Di ba malay mo, ang bilang ni receiving department 10. Okay, sabi niya nawawala daw yung 5 na 15 dapat kasi 15 yung nasa PO. Sabi niya nawawala daw yung 5. Yun pala, binulsa na niya, kinuha na niya. Okay, so dapat mahigpit ang ating supervision. So for supervision, you inspect the asset. Okay? For the inspection of asset, when the goods arrive from the supplier, your receiving clerk must inspect items for proper quantities and condition. Dapat walang damage. And of course, a blind PO has all the relevant information regarding of course the quality. Yun lang, kailangan kasi doon yung quantity. Okay, kaya naka-blanco yung quantity. Kailangan niyang bilangin. Next, for the theft, of course, the receiving department is sometimes hectic and cluttered during busy period. And of course, the environment is exposed to theft until securely placed in the warehouse. Pwedeng hindi naman siya yung nagnakaw. Pwedeng other person. So, not necessarily na si receiving officer, siya din yung magnanakaw. But what we are talking here, pwede rin na nung nirelease sa kanya, kompleto pa, pero dahil hindi pa naka-organize, okay, magulo yung warehouse, hindi pa na-transfer sa warehouse, nandun pa sa storage kung saan nilalagay ang received items, di ba? Nakuha na, wali na. Next one, your accounting records again. Iba dapat ang may hawak ng records mo per items, okay? So for the accounting records, the objective is to maintain audit trail adequate for tracing a transaction from its source document to the financial statement. Next one, your access control. So yung access mo should be limited. Dapat si warehouse officer, wala siyang access sa system ni disbursing officer. Okay? And of course, proper security over cash as well. Si disbursing officer, okay, wala siyang anong tawag nito? Wala siyang access dun sa actual amount of the cash. Okay? Next one, independent verification. Actually, itong internal control mo, similar. Dapat meron ka nito for your expenditure. Meron ka rin nito sa revenue cycle. Tama? Anyway, let's go back. Independent verification, you have here the AP function plays the vital role in the verification of the work others in the system have done. Okay? So ano yung mga kasama sa verification natin? Number one, the PO, which shows that the purchasing agent ordered only the needed inventory from a valid vendor. Next one, your receiving report, which is the evidence of the physical receipt. Dapat yung condition niya and yung quantities received should be reconciled and the same with the PO as signified by the organization. And of course, supplier invoice, which will provide the financial information needed to record obligation as the accounts payable. Okay? Paano naman sa audit trail mo ngayon? So for your audit, ano ba yung mga basic na ino-audit mo? Basic na ino-audit mo would be existence and occurrence. Kapag sinabi mong existence and occurrence, okay, sulat lang natin, existence and occurrence. For the existence and occurrence, yung mga naka-record sa'yo for your audit, okay, the recorded purchases represents goods, service, and productive asset received during the period. Meaning, meron ka talaga na-receive. Okay? Etong naka-record na to, dapat existing siya. Let us say, pag nag-inspect ka sa warehouse, andun dapat to mga items na to. And recorded cash disbursement must be proved to be paid to your vendors or to your creditors. Another audit, okay, dito, another audit is the completeness. For the completeness, sinasabi natin dito or hinahanap natin, okay, that all transactions or all purchases and disbursement were recorded. Wala ka dapat disbursement na hindi na record. Okay? Bakit? Because it will understate your liability. It will also understate your balances in your inventory. Okay? Therefore, misstating your cost of goods sold and your net income. Another is, of course, your assertion on rights and obligation. So, isulat mo na lang rights and obligation. For the rights and obligation, what is your specific audit objective? That the entity is liable for the payable resulting from the purchase. Meaning, you have the financial liability. Okay? You are proved to have financial liability to pay. Okay? And of course, your accounts payable are the obligation of the entity at the balance sheet date. So, dapat naka-reflect yan sa balance sheet date mo. Another assertion that we audit is your valuation and allocation. So, sulat mo ulit, valuation and allocation. For the valuation and allocation, we audit that, okay? And our audit objective for that is to check that all purchases, all our purchase transaction and disbursement are valued using your GAAP or your standards. Let us say if you value your inventory, pagkabili mo, how do you value? Is it at fair value or historical cost? Siyempre, historical cost. Kung magkano mo siya nabili. Di ba yun naman yung binigay ni standards? At the end of the period, how do you value? Lower of cost or net realizable value. Ayan, yan yung valuation and allocation mo. Okay? Again, for valuation and allocation, all purchases transaction are journalized, summarized, and posted according to your standards. Your valuation according to the standards. Aside from that, your accounts payable are stated in the correct amount owed. Kung magkano talaga yung utang mo, yun dapat yung naka-reflect. Hindi pwedeng ang utang mo 25,000, yung naka-reflect 23,000 lang. Okay? So parang hindi mo na rin nasunod itong completeness assertion mo. Okay? Kasi 25,000 dapat yung naka-reflect, hindi naman kumpleto, 22,000 lang or 23,000. And of course, your number 5 is the presentation and disclosure. That's another assertion that you test. And what is your audit objective? For the presentation and disclosure, the details of purchases and cash disbursements support their presentation in the financial statement, including their classification and related disclosure. Okay? So they are presented according to how it is, according to your standard, and presented accordingly. Okay? Now, your materiality in your audit, of course, it will depend on the level of control risk and inherent risk. So, your materiality during your audit, katulad ng sinasabi sa iyo ni Sir Audit Theory, anong sabi niya? Materiality will depend, okay? Pumapangit yung sulat ng ink ko, will depend on the level of control and inherent risk. Do you still remember your inherent risk for your expenditure cycle, or first time nyo lang to? So some of your inherent risk are your pressures to understate expenses to increase profitability. Okay? Siyempre, gusto ni company profitable. So how do you increase profitability? It's either you overstate sale or you understate expenses. Yung expenses mo na yon, it pertains to your cost of sale. Another, sa inherent risk, meaning kahit may control ka, 'di ba, andyan pa to, or kahit wala kang control, meron na talaga tong mga risk na to. The pressure on understating your payable also. Bakit? For liquidity. Siyempre, when you test liquidity, the higher the payables or the higher the current liability, the lower your liquidity ratio. Okay? What else? Sample ng mga inherent risk mo. Unauthorized purchases and cash disbursement may be made. Kaya nga dapat separate yung function ng nag-authorize ng purchase at saka nag-certify or nag-authorize ng mga disbursement mo. Okay? Hindi dapat iisa yung gumagawa niyan. Next, there may be duplication of payment to vendor and invoices. So, overstated naman ngayon yung payment mo. Doble yung bawas mo ng cash, na doble din yung payable mo. Now, what are your analytical procedure? Okay? For your analytical procedure, nasulat ko ba siya dito? Anyway, ayan. Etong controls mo, ayan, hindi ako masyado kasi dito sa controls. Anyway, I focus on the audit itself. Sige, gamitin na lang natin tong space for our discussion. Sige, dito sa space natin. For your analytical procedure, okay, they are commonly cost-effective in terms of your expenditure cycle. If your company is growing, it is common to expect purchase, inventory, and accounts payable to grow at consistent rate. And the auditor's knowledge of the volume of purchases with prior experience is useful in estimating your current year's payable. So, ano yung mga analytical procedures mo? For your analytical procedure, you have your accounts payable turn days. I-check mo yung accounts payable days mo or your days of accounts payable. So, how long do you pay your payable? Diba? Ganon din sa cost of goods sold and accounts payable. Your current ratio, i-check mo yan. Your quick ratio, okay? A significant increase in your current ratio compared to prior year may indicate completeness problem. Okay? So, si current ratio mo tsaka si quick ratio, they may indicate completeness problem. Pag masyadong mataas yung ratio mo this year, baka kulang, hindi ka nag-record ng payable mo. That's part of your liability. 'Di ba? Kasi last year, ang range ng liquidity ratio mo is 0.88, 0.90. Ngayon, biglang naging how much? 1.5. Ang laki ng difference. Meaning, there are payables that are not recorded, leading to lower current liability but higher current asset. Okay? So, para ka lang nag-FS analysis. Now, for the documents and records on your expenditure cycle that are necessary for your audit, don't forget your purchase requisition. That is your request for goods or services by an authorized individual or the purchase to the purchasing department. Next, of course, you have your purchase order. Ito na yung written offer mo for your purchasing. And then yung receiving report, again, ito yung blind copy na binibigay mo kay receiving department. When you say vendor invoice, this is the bill from the vendor stating the item shipped. Okay? or the services rendered, and then the amount due, as well as the payment term or your credit term. What else? You have your open purchase order file, receiving file. Okay, so itong mga file mo, hindi naman masyado tayo dito. For the functions, just don't forget the function. Okay? And of course, for your control, don't forget your control. So as you do your function, there should be your control. Like your supervision sa receiving. What else? Sa authorization processes mo. Pag gumawa ka ng order, hindi pwedeng ikaw yung mag-i-state or mag-certify ilan yung madi-disburse. Kasi may standards ka dyan. Let us say, may naka-register sa system mo magkano yung cost nito from vendor A. And then from that, okay, yun yung basis mo. Now, for control risk in your purchase transaction, let us say in your initial purchases, what are the potential misstatement or what are the potential risks? Number one, your misstatement. Lack of control over purchases and unrecorded liability. What can be your control? Okay? Let us say sa purchasing, pre-numbered purchase requisition or purchase order. And then, checks are numerical sequence. Okay? May numerical sequencing ka dyan. Paano naman kung may mga unauthorized purposes for your purchases? What can you control? Verification of employee authorization code to enter requisition or purchase order. Let's say meron kang fictitious vendor. Anong pwede mong control dyan? You compare your vendor on purchase order to your master file vendor. Okay? So anyway, you have this on your handout. What else? Your potential misstatement, another, in receiving of your goods. Okay? The goods may be received but not recorded. What can be your control? You check the goods ordered and not received within a reasonable time period. Paano naman sa accepting of goods pagdating kay receiving? Di ba kailangan i-count niya yon, okay? I-check mo yung validity ng purchase order in order to initiate the receiving report. In terms of your recording of liability, of course, in terms of the goods or services that may be received but not recorded appropriately, what's your control? You check the records of your liabilities. Okay, so for your internal control, nakasummarize lang dito sa end ng slides natin yung items na dapat mong i-note. Okay? So I won't be reading this for you anyway. All right? Ayan. Again, similar lang. If you have your control for your revenue cycle, meron din dito. Okay? For your expenditure cycle. Number one, control. Gamit yung anim na guide mo. Segregation of duties, authorization, accounting records, access control, supervision, and more. So see you on the next video for the part 2 of your expenditure cycle.